Hey, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Bob. You're back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakahakadash. The bonus to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the men that I learned the truth from. Shalom to the hopeful elect, man. I actually just uploaded this video, but I realized during the playback, the videos that the clips that I'm gonna show, sound wasn't playing, so I'm gonna redo the whole lesson. Yeah, so I'm touching on the relationship Deion Sanders, who's now coaching the Colorado Buffs. All right, he moved from an HBCU over to Colorado. I'm gonna touch on the relationship he has with his players, right, and how it's important for young men to have men that they can look up to. All right, men as role models. All right, men that they can follow. All right, why it's important for young men to have their fathers in their lives, and if you don't have your father within your life, your biological father, to have an example, all right, of a father to show you somewhat the right way, all right, the right path to follow. Um, just like us in this truth, some of us brothers, we didn't grow up with our biological father, but the Lord blessed us with spiritual fathers, all right, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who have shown us the right path, who has led us unto life, all right, through the spirit and power and grace and mercy of Yahweh Shema Shah. But touching on this aspect with Deion Sanders and his guys, and if you're not familiar with it, the situation with them beating TCU, which TCU was ranked number 17 in the country coming into this season, and they were runner-ups to win the national championship last year. Mind you, the Colorado team that Deion is coaching right now, they only won one game last year, all right? And they beat TCU this past Saturday, so they shocked the college football world. But the reason they were able to do that is because the belief, um, um, the traits and the qualities that Deion is instilling within these young men that are willing to follow him, which they did follow him, because a lot of the men that he's recruited to this team, they weren't a part of Colorado before. He gathered a lot of young men from different places onto this team that you see now. And a man like Deion Sanders, of course, he's worldly, he's in the world. So his viewpoint of things is surrounded by his knowledge and wisdom of this world. But just applying that for an example in this lesson, these men, Deion somewhat has a moral compass. All right, he has moral standards he go by, even though it's that bullshit Jesus spirit. He has a moral standard that he goes by, and he instills humility and diligence within his players, and that's important. All right, because when young men don't have fathers in the household, they tend to look for male leadership somewhere, and a lot of times it's the wrong leadership. All right, it may be the drug dealer outside. All right, because majority of our people live in these inner cities, and these young men, they may look up to the drug dealer, the older gang member. All right, the guy that got all the women, got the car. All right, and he wants it. He sees the nice clothes, and he wants to know how he got it, or he wants to be loved, accepted, so he joins a gang, whatever. Right, and he follows a wicked man, and he emulates himself and follows down the path of a wicked man, and ends up destroying himself. And then on the other side, you have those young men that don't have fathers in the household, and they follow celebrities. All right, they idolize musicians and actors and sports players, and they lead their life off of everything that they say. So that's why it's important to have a male figure within your life that has some type of moral standard to instill moral ways within you. Because without that, you're going to be completely lost. All right. Contrary to what the serpent Esau says and teaches this world, it's not beneficial. Contrary to what he says, it's not beneficial for a woman to be raising a young man by herself. These single parent households. All right. These men usually turn out to be very emotional, very sporadic. All right. Moving off of their emotions in the moment. They're hasty. All right. They chase their lusts. All right. They bounce to and fro wherever their emotions take them. They have no control over themselves. All right. Because they weren't raised properly. And they didn't have a man in their life to direct them. So I want to play a few of these clips because they shock the world, the college football world. But why were they able to do that? It's because of what Deion is instilling within these young men. Let me play this one first.
To you, somebody who wants this thing. That man next to you, somebody who believes. That man next to you, somebody that got to have it today. We ain't got tomorrow. We got now. We ain't got next. We got now. We ain't coming no more.
All right, let's go to this one here. Let me refresh this page so it starts from the beginning.
We understand what we believe by experiences or experiments, but we got to believe something. So when I say I believe, that means I believe in you. 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 But the question is, do you believe? I believe. So when I say that, and when you say that, I want you to unequivocally believe what you say. You got that? We understand what we believe.
Yeah, and he goes a lot into belief and believing in yourself and, having faith. And he has, arguably now going to be the number one college player this season. This guy, Travis Hunter, which everything that he did in his past game against TCU, he was doing at the HBCU college. But now that it's on mainstream, now that it's on television for the world to see, they're seeing how great of a talent this guy Travis Hunter is. But, Deion allowed him to play both sides, which is what Travis wants to do. And he's an extremely gifted talent. He's able to dominate as a cornerback on the defensive side and then immediately go to the offensive side and dominate as a wide receiver. Nothing like that has ever happened in a college football game. What happened in TCU where this guy played like over 120 snaps and he played corner and wide receiver. And he didn't just play it. He didn't just play the whole game on both sides. He dominated on both sides and made key plays. But if Travis Hunter was to go to one of these major colleges that already have the prestige, all right, and the reputation, the ones that were recruiting him, and he didn't follow Deion, more than likely they wouldn't have believed in Travis to play that many snaps and play both sides of the game like that all game, and they would have limited Travis. But see, what Deion is instilling in these guys is to bring out the best within them, and that's a very important thing that a man can do to a younger man, all right, to instill belief in himself that he can achieve anything he puts his mind to. Let's go to this. We got two more clips, and then I'm gonna get the scriptures. Let's go to.
And I obviously know you weren't just talking to Joel there, you're talking to your team there as well. Has that been the standard literally since we get in there? We're winning right there. Go ahead.
The standard don't change. Like the standard has a location and it don't change whatsoever. Now it's up to us to get to that destination. Like the standard is the standard. I would be a fool to sit up here like, hey man, I think winning 4 games is great. get to that destination. Like the standard is the standard. I would be a fool to sit up there like, hey man, I think winning 4 games is great. Four games for us? Like, come on, man. We don't think like that. We ain't built like that. We don't talk or walk or act like that. We're here to be dominant. We're here to take over this thing and change the whole darn game and be unapologetic about it.
And the reason he said that is because when he, I think I already stated that Colorado only won 1 game last year. And they were telling him that if you were able to just win 4 more games or 5 more games this season, it would be a great improvement. But Deion is like, hell no, I ain't coming just to win 4 games. I'm trying to win a national championship right now. And that's shocking a lot of people that he's coming with that mindset. But that's actually a beautiful mindset to have and to instill in young men that look up to you and follow you. All right. Like I said, it ain't beneficial for a young man to just follow any old man, but a man that has achieved a lot and has some type of moral standard would benefit a man that follows him, a young man that follows him. And like I said, this is within the confines of this world, of course. The true men that you should be following are the elder apostles of Great Millstone, but I'm doing this to tie in the importance of why young men need male figures within their life, strong male figures within their life that have some type of moral standard to them. You know,
That's the way we. I want my kids to have fun. I want them to do stuff. I don't give a darn if we 21 points up, get the penalty. Do your dance, baby. What I got you. I got you. I mean, I love what I do, what I love, and I love these darn kids, man. I want them to go pro. I want them to get the degrees. I want them to be assets to the communities. I want them to be great fathers, great sons. Like, I want so much for these kids. I want them to understand financial literacy. I want so much for these kids, and they love it. And they know I've had my turn, baby. I'm your navigational system. I'm your guy in the corner in the ring. I'm telling you left, right, left, duck. Okay, that's shoot right, that's jab. Like that's who I am, my man. That's what I enjoy every day, and I don't tire in doing it.
Okay, so it's
yeah. One key point I took from that is he said he wants them to be great sons and great fathers. So he's trying to instill qualities in them that'll make them decent men within this society. All right. Of course, we don't give a damn about this world and this society, but you know, for them that do, it's beneficial to them. All right. And then I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna get the scriptures real quick. Go to this part right here.
This team is here, and wow, did you?
And this is the guy Travis Hunter here. All right. That he allowed him to be him, you know, and that's why he did something that no player has done, to play both sides of the field in 2 different positions the whole game and dominate on both sides. He was able to do that because the belief that Deion is instilling within him.
Impressed. How proud are you?
Thank you, Jesus. I'm so thankful right now. My son, man. My pop right here, son. My other son.
Yeah, now this is Shador, his actual biological son, and he also threw for over 500 yards. All right, which is crazy in itself, on like over 80% completions. So they were breaking records that whole game. All right, and then he goes on to call Travis his other son, which Travis is not his biological son, but it just shows you how he's treating these young men, and it makes them want to follow him, it makes them want to play for him, and it makes them work even harder. All right, and this is what Esau hates to see right here. This is what Esau hates to see. All right, and I'm gonna get a scripture to prove it. Salam. Bear with me 1 second. So let me go over to this tab here. Let's go over to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach. KJV. chapter 30, Sirach chapter 30, verse 3, right? Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1. It says, He that loveth his son causeth him often to feel the rod, which is correcting him, all right? Correcting him when he goes off to make him better, all right? To purge out his impurities. It's like the Lord sees us as his sons, because we are his sons. We're Yasha, all the princes of the power. And he chastises us, and he's given us spiritual fathers on the earth to correct us, all right, and to lead us and show us the right way. So that shows you the love. That's true love, all right. Discipline, all right. It says, He that loveth his son causeth him often to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end, all right. Because all that instilling the righteous qualities within your son and correcting him and chastising him. When he turns out to be a man, he's going to be better off for it, right? It says, He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. All right, you're going to want to boast in your son's achievements, and not just his achievements, just the man that he is. Like Deion said, he wants them to be great sons and great fathers, right? And in the kingdom, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see men that carry themselves by the ways of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the moral code of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the righteous laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and the world is going to be a better place for it. Verse 3, this is the point I wanted. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. So Deion is grieving his enemies within the college football realm by doing this right here. And even on a bigger level, a way bigger level, we're grieving Esau, the elites of this society, because the Lord is doing a mighty work within us, all right, as the sons of Yasha, the princes of power, coming back to our inheritance. Now, since I touched on raising your son up, let's go to Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13. Let's go down to verse. It says, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasten him betimes. All right? So if you love your son, you're going to correct him, you're going to chastise him, you're going to rebuke him. All right? You're going to show him the right way, and you're going to steer him away from the wrong path. Okay? From there, let's stay in Proverbs, but let's go to Proverbs chapter 22. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. It says, Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right? When you train up a child in the way he should go, when he is old, he will not depart from it. And when you go into that word train, let's get into etymology. It doesn't say what I want to say in the blue letter. Let's get etymology of train. Let's go there. Boom, boom. All right. And when you go to etymology of train, it says to discipline, teach, bring to a desired state by means of instruction. All right. So you want to discipline your son. You want to teach your son. All right. To bring him to a desired state by the means of your instruction. So what is the Lord doing with us? He's disciplining us. He's correcting us. He's teaching us his ways so that by his instruction, we can be brought back to the desired state that he wants us at, which is Yasha'Allah, princes of the power, sons of the Most High, conducting ourselves in a righteous manner according to his ass, right? It also says fit oneself for a performance by a regiment or exercise, all right? And what is the regiment that we uphold? Being brotherly, doing these lessons, study to show yourself approved, all right? Going out on the highways and byways diligently, in season and out of season. This is our regiment, all right? You got to live this. it's a regimen, it's a routine, it's what's the saying? Practice makes perfect, but really it's, after you make something a habit and you constantly do it and you work on it and you have consistency and diligence with it, your body just, naturally molds itself to it, all right, and becomes it, all right. That's why you can see a guy like Stephen Curry have such a perfect shot, was because his body became that. His body groomed into that from a child, all right, of him being trained up in that regimen, in that exercise. And you apply that to anything. So, for the sake of time, because it's late, like I said, I had did this video, then I uploaded it and found out that the sound on these videos weren't playing. So for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Um, yeah, I just wanted to touch on the dynamic Deion has with his players, man. Um, young men need their fathers in the household. Contrary to what the serpent is trying to do. But anyways, and I'm gonna keep up watching what how far the Colorado guys can go, because this is very entertaining. All right. So I hope this was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom, man.